Hey everybody, meteorologist Brad Panovich for SkiSoutheast.com. We've had such an epic pattern for January so far. There are some changes ahead, but it's not dramatic. It's not going to be a huge, like I would say, ridge across the southeast, which would be a horrible setup. Let's take a look at what we're expecting right now. So I'm going to move my head out of the way just so it's over here, because we want to focus on what's happening here in the east. We've got this cold pattern still in place here tonight on Thursday going into the upcoming weekend. Stays pretty cool. In fact, we're going to get a reinforcing shot of cool air, especially for the mountains of the southeast. Not as cold as what we've had, but this will give us a little bit of northwest flow snow. So expect a burst of snow this weekend. If you're going skiing this weekend, there will be some natural snow, probably starting as soon as Friday night into Saturday. You could see the cold air lurking up there in Canada. But as we get into next week, we get into what I would say is not really warm air, but kind of a zonal flow. The one period during the middle of next week, right about here, this is where things get a little warm because we've got a big storm coming across the country, and you notice the flow briefly coming out of the southwest. So like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, it does look like the pattern does get mild for a while. So we're probably going to have to turn the snow guns off, get a little warmer, probably some rain. But as we go past next weekend, another little dip develops, and this is likely going to bring maybe another chance of snow on the backside of the system going into that first weekend in February. So what is this system going to look like? Well, we'll look at the short-term stuff first to kind of give you an idea. You see that northwest flow snow right here. Doesn't look like much on the global models, but it certainly looks like it could accumulate Friday and Saturday. You'll see a couple little waves of moisture come through, one well to the south, but this is enough that right in here, yeah, especially even to early next week, I might have to add some snow to the forecast even Tuesday for West Virginia and Virginia. That's something to watch. But most of next week is pretty warm by the middle of the week, but going into this weekend looks ideal. So if you're going this weekend, great conditions. I think it's going to be more some midweek skiing next week that might be problematic because of this thing right here. And this is going into Thursday, Friday of next week, and that first weekend in February. That's looking a little soggy. So this is next Saturday and Sunday, the 1st and 2nd of February. And notice we've got some rain, and that's all rain, by the way, and pretty mild conditions. Let's look at the short-term snowfall forecast because this is what I expect through the weekend. I'm going to go into Tuesday and stop at Wednesday morning just to give you a rough idea here. You can see there is at least some natural snow between now and Wednesday. So this weekend is looking pretty ideal for some conditions that could be favorable. And just a quick glance at the temperatures. You'll see that temperatures stay pretty chilly this weekend across the southeast. Next week, you'll notice some of the warm air starting to creep up, especially by the middle of the week, roughly right about there, but not too bad. I think snowmaking until about Wednesday-ish, but the real warm stuff is going to be late next week. Look at this thing heading right there. So that's kind of a warm setup right there. So when we look at the forecast here for the upcoming 5-day period, I'm really confident we're going to see snow here. I probably could have introduced a little bit of snow as well, but notice snowmaking conditions through the weekend. So that's why I said the weekend's looking really good. It's the middle of next week that we might get a little bit of a warm up. There's some question here about how cold. It's not blazing hot. It's not a southeast ridge or a blowtorch, but it looks like marginal snowmaking temperatures and certainly no natural snow the middle of the week, but that should maintain the base pretty well. I mean, this early part of the month has been so cold with natural snow and snowmaking that like I said, I've said this several times since the beginning of the year, this has really set us up for the rest of the season regardless of what happens. And here we are, not even in February yet. We still got all of February and almost all of March where we have good chances for wintry weather here in the southeast. And the way this winter's been trending, it's been pretty awesome, let's be honest. As always, think snow. Have a great weekend if you're heading to the mountains and tear it up. I'm heading out west to ski. I'll post some reports from out west coming up later next week.